Sapura Energy Berhad. As an upstream participant in the oil and gas sector, Sapura Energy offers all services along the value of chain exploration, development, production, rejuvenation and decommissioning. The Sapura Crest Petroleum and Kencana Petroleum merger that took place in 2011 gave rise to the Malaysia firm. Offshore construction, subsea services, fabrication, hookup and commissioning, and drilling and energy services make up Sapura's Kencana key operation. What is the issue now? The issue is, if Petronas or any government investment company helps Sapura Energy this time, will that be the last help? Or just provide temporary breathing assistance only? What is Sapura Energy business model? Sapura Energy is a levered company as it uses both equity and debt to finance its operation.
The value of equity in 2020 is 9.17 million, while in 2021, there is a reduction in value of equity amounting to 2.6%. Meaning in 2021, the value of equity is only amounting to 8.936 million. For the value of debt, in 2020 and 2021, the value of debt is RM 9.58 million and 9.89 million respectively. And there is an increase in debt of Sapura Energy amounting to 3.2%. Moving on to the cost of debt. Basically, the cost of debt is the effective rate that a company uses to pay for its debt. So for the 2020, using 6.85% of rate of interest, and we can get the 2.66% the cost of debt, while in 2021, using the 6.52% in the rate of interest, we can generate the 2.6% cost of debt, and there is a reduction of 0.06% in cost of debt. Moving on to the debt to equity ratio. So debt to equity ratio is used to evaluate the company's financial leverage. So in 2020, we can see that the debt to equity ratio is amounting to 1.04. This means that for every one equity, there is a 1.04 debt. And in 2021, we can see there is an increase of debt to equity ratio to 1.11. So this means in 2021, for every one equity, there is a 1.11 debt. Moving on to the cost of equity. What is the cost of equity? So cost of equity is a return that a company requires for an investment or a project. So for Sapura Energy's cost of equity in 2020 is 8.91%, while in 2021 is 9.24%. So we can see that there is an increase of 0.33% in cost of equity in Sapura Energies.
I will continue for the weighted average cost of capital. So what is WACC? WACC is a rate that Sapura is expected to pay on average to all its security holders to finance its assets. It is calculated by multiplying the cost of each capital source, which are debt and equity, by its relevant weight through market value. In 2020, as we can see, the total WACC that we have calculated is 7.02%, and for 2021, it is 7%. So there is a decrease of percent which amounted to 0.02%. Next is net working capital. As you can see, the formula is current asset minus current liabilities. And for 2020, the total amount is 2,346,180 ringgit. And for 2021, it is 2,289,425 ringgit. There is a reduction of 56,755 ringgit. As for earning per share, the total earning per share for 2020 is 28 cents, and for 2021 is 1 cent. And obviously there is a total reduction of 27 cents. We'll continue with market share price. And for the formula is total equity divided by number of shares. For 2020, the total market share price is 58 cents, and for 2021 it is 56 cents. There is a reduction of 2 cents there. Lastly is market capitalization, or we can call it market cap. It refers to the total value of all Sapura's shares of stock. It is calculated by multiplying the price of a stock to Sapura's total number of outstanding shares. And for 2020, we can see the total market capitalizations amounted to 9,164,990,760. And for 2021, it is amounted to 8,944,210,240.
Now I will continue about composition capital structure and overall cost of capital (RWACC). Sapura Energy uses more debt finance rather than equity finance to finance its assets. This means the company can gain benefit from tax shield and the cost of debt becomes cheaper in the world with tax, thus increasing the value of the firm. This will make the RWACC become lower than RO when the amount of debt is increased. So now I will continue with question number 4.1, which is major business problem faced by Sapura Energy. Due to our working capital facilities, the group's liquidity issues got worse because of its significant late payables to supplier and unsustainable debt level. Its financial year 2022 revenue of Rm 4.1 billion was 22.8% lower than Rm 5.3 billion reported in the previous financial year, principally because the engineering and construction segment contributed less to that revenue.
Moving on to the question 4.2. COVID-19 pandemic has worsened the condition of Sapura Energy Sdn Bhd. The COVID-19 pandemic had an effect on the worldwide oil and gas sector all year long. A number of the group's activities were indirectly pushed into monsoon season as a result of the direct delays brought on by movement control restriction measures and related standard operating procedures across the world. The group also incurred additional expenses as a result of these delays, such as supply chain delays, quarantine limitations on personnel and vessels. The group is currently engaging with its clients to acknowledge and resolve these costs. The group has also made significant but essential adjustments to its business practices, including steps to increase operational productivity and efficiency, as well as actions to optimize revenue and costs. Last but not least, question number 4.3. I agree with the statement there is a possibility of Sapura Energy may fall under financial distress. The recommendations that can help Sapura Energy to reduce its financial distress are: the first one is buckle down and remove non-essential costs. The corporation has to examine its operating costs. They may learn where and how to save expenditures from this point on. Learn which procedures cost them the most. There might be solutions to reduce these expenses. Ensure effective contact with the supplier. Next, reduce manual, time-consuming operations that are costly to the company. They have undoubtedly spent a ton of time and money on accounting duties like producing invoices and financial reports on paper. The next point is monitor business cash flow. The company can determine profit and loss, what is preventing their cash flow, and which costs they may reduce from this point. such as reducing number of employees. The most important is make sure to handle the bills from clients with great care. Invoices that are unpaid cause a bad financial flow. Moving on to the conclusion, we can see that Sapura Energy Berhad use more debt finance rather than equity finance to finance its assets. This means the company can gain benefit from tax shields and the cost of debt becomes cheaper. In order to get out of financial crisis, business owners need to exert maximum effort. Business owners will be able to survive and recover from the continuing financial crisis by passionately and positively implementing the recommendations.